What are some interesting or fun Christmas traditions you follow? Every year for the last 8 years my sister and I gift each other a weird thing that makes the other one laugh. It started with when our house almost got repossessed just before Christmas and everything was so terrible that we just wanted to make each other laugh. Highlights include 12 packs of frozen potato smiley faces to resolve a long-forgotten childhood argument, 3 chocolate tubes filled with tinny rubber ducks instead of chocolate, a lucky dip which involved hiding small gifts in socks, and this year a bag of potatoes with Nicolas Cage's face blue tacked on every individual potato. We read Jessica's first prayer on Christmas Eve, and Christmas morning we have banana nut loaf for breakfast. Open gifts at midnight on Christmas Eve. Santa puts the stockings on everyone's bed. This way, the kids can play with the stuff in the stockings and the adults get more sleep. Kids get to open a single present after Christmas Eve dinner. Each year for Christmas, instead of writing our real names on the presents, my parents would take a random theme and assign my siblings and I a name based on said theme. For example, this year's theme is liquor and the names are Scotch, whiskey, and gin, and we have to guess who is what name. Whoever guesses correctly gets a little homemade Christmas-themed trophy called the Christmas Smartass Award that they can keep until next Christmas. In my small hometown in West Germany, in the morning of 24, the people used to gather at the marketplace, with all pubs opened for that occasion, and get absolutely wasted. It's a pretty fun come together, where we used to meet old friends once a year, before we went to our families for the big dinner and the more traditional Christmas stuff. Obviously with COVID this can't happen this year. Sad times. Not this year due to the virus, but we would usually go to the casino since it is the only thing open on Christmas. I have usually won a small amount of money too. My boyfriend and I grab a bag of crystals, White Castle for the rest of you, and roll around town looking at Christmas lights. There were so many good displays this year, and all wildly spaced apart, that it took nearly 3 hours to see them all. My mom has always spelled it out as Christmas because she really likes religion and stuff, so now I always spell it out like that as a joke to my homies. We tell the story that my broke great-great-grandfather told his children one year on Christmas morning about the town drunkard throwing Santa Claus under the ice, which explains why Santa didn't come that year on Christmas but would be able to give them gifts once he escaped the ice. Starting on Christmas Eve every year, we go hopping from relative to relatives' houses, opening presents and hanging out with everyone. Then at around 7 or 8 we go to the last house where we have a massive Christmas Eve party with a crap ton of Mexican food. Some people eventually leave throughout the night, but we like to stay and wait until 12 o'clock so we can open the final presents on Christmas Day. Then we go back home in the morning and make a special Christmas breakfast and open the presents that are at our house. I don't know if I will do it this year because I'm in the hospital for how long, and I'm not sure if the party is even going on this year. Update: the Costco that my grandma works at just had 20 employees test positive for COVID. They're not doing the party this year, but they are still making tamales for everyone to take home. At least there's always next year. I always put a train up around my Christmas tree. Getting drunk. We have 2 main traditions. First, Christmas morning, breakfast is always a pan of cinnamon rolls and orange rolls. And second, on Christmas you can't get dressed for the day, everyone has to wear pajamas all day, no exceptions. My fiancé and I started making a tradition of picking a very nice restaurant that we normally wouldn't consider due to price, and book a late lunch/early dinner. After dinner, we drive by the highly decorated streets in the area and enjoy the immense effort put into them. One of the houses plays music by short-range radio, and some of the lights are in time with the songs. They hold a food drive and toy drive at those streets too, and usually end up with a lot of food for local food banks and local kids in needy families. Every year my wife, kids, plus attachments, and I watch White Christmas together on Christmas Eve. Then we each open one present. It started because we always spent Christmas Day traveling to see my wife's family and mine, and we wanted one day to be just ours, and now Christmas Eve is more important to our family than the actual day. My family travels a lot, so wherever we go or there is a big life event, we get a tree ornament for it and make sure the year is written on it. Our tree is older than my older brother at this point, and some of the ornaments are too. It's always a fun tradition on Black Friday after Thanksgiving when we put the tree up, and everyone has fond memories of where we got each ornament. Watching Life of Brian Stoned. It's the perfect Christmas movie. I come from a large family. When our grandparents were alive, we would do a white elephant for Christmas. We always drew names on Thanksgiving and would exchange gifts Christmas Eve before Santa brought the real presents. My aunts and uncles, and my parents too, were never satisfied with simple, silly white elephant or prank gifts. They always went way out. One year my uncle carved an ugly totem pole about 4 feet tall. One of my aunts gave another a set of china with, I think, Bill Clinton's face on the plates. For a few years they passed around a black velvet painting of a tiger. It was always a hoot to see who would get the tiger every year. Rain, snow, or blizzard, someone is out back grilling up some sweet baby Jesus back ribs. Yes, we really made a culinary tradition based on a pun. Each family member cooks something for Christmas Eve. Every year, roughly 4 or 5 days before Christmas, me and my brother check out all of our presents. Shaking them, feeling around the edges to find out what kind of box it might be, guessing items based on weight. We're both in our mid-20s and still check out all of your presents before Christmas. It drives our mother nuts. Hanukkah. We have a Pitzel press with my great-nonno and great-nonna's names on it. We make them every year during Christmas and they are the best. Table presents. Open one present on Christmas Eve, which usually is PJs, and underneath them is a book. Christmas Day go to my grandparents and open more presents. We used to have the Christmas pickle. It was hidden somewhere in the tree, and whoever found it was supposed to get an extra present. Every year we marathon Star Wars the whole day. I don't know how common this is, but we pour brandy over the pudding and set it on fire with the lights out to see the blue flames. We follow the holiest of Jewish traditions, Chinese food and a movie. I load the kids in the car with hot chocolate and drive around with Christmas music playing and looking at Christmas lights. This tradition started with my niece and nephew almost 20 years ago. My dad has this nativity scene. Each year someone random gets a new figure to add to the nativity scene. Of course other non-biblical toys make it. I wonder who'll get the Jesus action figure this year. At least one present for each family member is hidden somewhere in the house. Then the giftee goes and looks for it, while whoever hid it simply tells them if they're warm or cooler if they get closer or farther away from it, respectively. I get really blackout drunk and the next day everyone gets to reenact all the embarrassing things I did. We hide a Christmas spider in our tree, and on Christmas morning the kids get to look for the spider. Whoever finds it gets to open the spider's gift, usually it's something they can share. Me and my brothers always get each other presents. We are allowed to open one gift from each on Christmas Eve. One year my dad got lazy and bought plain gift boxes, for like shirts. Well, I decided to draw on them all. For his gift, I drew the troll face guy going, "Why you know buy pretty boxes?" He gifted it to me next year and now it goes back and forth. Otherwise, I make a point to wrap his present as horribly as possible. My dad and I haven't been together on Christmas in at least over 10 years. Every year on Christmas we take a walk and call each other and talk to each other about our neighbors' Christmas lights and which ones are our favorite, etc. My fun Christmas tradition is to meet people face to face. Too bad it is not happening this year. The morning of Christmas Eve my family puts up a small concert in the neighborhood where my grandparents used to live, which coincidentally is right next to the graveyard where they are buried. My grandmother hides an ornament on the tree for the grandchildren to find. Whoever finds it first gets $5 and gives their siblings each one. My family does a massive white elephant thing. It gets pretty mean when the aunts start taking others' gifts. Our elf collects things. We've only had it 2 years, but she has a flower pinned to her head from last year, and she acquired a candy cane so far this year. We're going to put her in a Santa robe soon, and she'll keep that for next year. The Easter Bunny brings us pajamas on Christmas Eve while we're off doing something else. It was always my mom, and we all knew except one brother. He thought Santa was too busy to be surprising us with pajamas. So I guess the next logical gift giver was the Easter Bunny. I prepare my week by getting ready for a consistent buzz to deal with my in-laws and family.